Okay, it's my absolute pleasure to be standing here alongside one of the legends in the industry. Thank you very much indeed for taking time to talk to us today. Just like to ask, Wonderful 101 comes out this week. Project is finished. How do you feel?
How do you feel?
So this is a feeling I always get before the release date, but at the same time there's also the excitement of whether users will play and enjoy the game, but also a sense of slight concern whether they will actually enjoy it. So it's quite a difficult feeling I'm feeling right now.
I find it interesting to say that you're concerned that players may not quite get it. Is it a case of you feel the concept of the game hasn't been so well shown and explained to gamers, or is it that it's more because of Platinum Games sometimes are very hard to reach that mainstream audience?
今回のゲームは今まで僕が作った、例えば、ベヨネッタで言えば過去に作った
For example, when I developed Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, I think users were able to imagine what sort of game was coming out. They had some sort of expectation, but this time with the 101, there are 100 characters that you essentially have to control, and there's no precedence. There's no other games that you can rely on or refer to. To get some sort of idea of what the game is about. So I think users might still have that lack of understanding on how the system works, but I really hope that users will actually pick it up and play it enough to get used to the controls, to get used to this new system, and get a real chance to enjoy the game.
そこに関してはすごいユーザーが楽しんでくれるであろうことを僕も楽しみにしているところもあります。
With the combat, it's very precise combat, as has been with most Platinum games previously. But out of interest, with the likes of Bayonetta, with the likes of Devil May Cry, during combat, even though you have multiple enemies on screen, you guys are fantastic for allowing the player to know exactly where they are, even in this sort of like thunderstorm of combat. With Wonderful 101, because you're controlling 101 characters at the same time, do you find it harder to explain visually where the players sort of like are on screen in terms of dodging perhaps attacks and such?
So yeah, this was something we were concerned about right till the very end of the development of the game. So there was a lot of trial and error throughout the whole development cycle. Of course, as you say, players might lose track of where they are in the game while users are still not used to the game. But I feel that if they play enough, they'll be able to eventually be able to freely play the game and locate themselves with ease. In the game there are a lot of rules and techniques that the player must essentially master, so perhaps what I could suggest is for the first round, treat it as some sort of tutorial where you kind of pick up on the different elements of the game, and then from the second playthrough onwards, maybe really get stuck into the game.
The art style is very beautiful, but also very reminiscent of a particular franchise that you're well known for. I'm just curious that even though the actual gameplay is completely different, whether you would consider this, at least visually, a spiritual successor to Viewtiful Joe, whether you consider this Viewtiful Joe 3 in spirit?
So yeah, a lot of people do say that the sort of design element of the 101 is similar to the Viewtiful Joe. But to be honest, while I was developing 101, I never thought or referred to the Viewtiful Joe. it might be. It can be said that the concept is very similar between the two, especially because they're both based on heroes. But the gameplay side, I've never really thought about the Viewtiful Joe, or never referred to it. And I'm sure everyone will notice this once you get a chance to play with it. Yeah, at the end of the day, both games were made by me, and so the ideas are coming from the same head. So and people who say they enjoyed Viewtiful Joe, they say they love the game, and it's very heartwarming to see that the Viewtiful Joe was a success, and it's also at the same time a bit weird to hear that Joe was such a popular character.
Possibly, could you let us know, over the course of development, is there any particular moment, any particular thing within the game that personally you find you will point that out as your most favorite point?
今回はちょっとあまり海外のインタビューと答えるって面白い。
So I'm not sure whether this is a topic that the overseas fans of the game would find interesting, but something that was a complete new experience for me was doing the direction for the Japanese voiceover as well as the English voiceover. Usually I do the directions for the English voices, but it was the first time to do for the Japanese voice. Of course, English isn't my mother tongue, so I don't fully understand the sort of direction or the kind of the life that's being put into the characters. But it was a very interesting and cool experience to be able to see the characters being brought to life in my mother tongue.
非常に感動しました。
Just to say personally, the highlight of the game thus far is the characterization and the dialogue. Absolutely fantastic.
そうですね。もう一つは
So one other thing I would point out is the storyline of the game. There was Okami, where there were many characters, maybe not as much as the 101, but for the 101 there are 7 main characters. There are enemies, of course there are the other playable characters, rivals, hidden characters, and each person has some sort of drama, and everyone there's a relationship between everyone, and kind of bringing all these different people into one kind of whole story was the most, and writing this scenario for this was the most fun for me.
すごく楽しかったです。
I would feel remiss if we didn't mention Bayonetta 2 just briefly. Played a demo of it myself recently, and I have to ask, did you guys break any gamepads while developing the game? Because I almost broke the one I was playing like that with it.
今のところ壊れてないです。これからどうなるか分かりません。
So far, we haven't broken any, but I can't speak for the future.
Well, just sort of wrapping up then. Where is Platinum now? Where are you now? And have you got plans beyond Bayonetta 2, or is it head down, get that game finished, and then you guys can work out what you want to do next, where you want to go next?
そうですね。まあどうなるのか。
So yeah, to be honest, I'm also looking forward to the future. It's not like I have an unlimited stock of ideas in my brain, so it's really a matter of giving it my all in the game that I'm working on, and once that's finished, think up of more ideas, and then give it my all again. And it's this kind of process that leads to the creation of our games. So now that the 101 is finished, I'm sure that I will start thinking about new challenges and new ideas, and I hope that the gods of the game gods come down to me and give me some sort of inspiration. and hopefully I can develop some sort of new idea and something that would be enjoyed by everyone. And last but not least, I'm just like to say that I'm very thankful to Platinum Games. They are a company that really focuses on the creativity and creativity on the development team, and they really give that sort of flexibility and freedom to experiment and try new ideas. So thank you to Platinum Games.
I was going to wrap it up there, but I've just had one last question. You mentioned inspirations. Where do you get inspired from?
The inspiration usually comes from times when we've stalled with ideas, and nothing that we try makes a game any more fun. And it's really when we get told off by our superiors, like when are you going to make this game fun? And then we kind of give up on our weekends, kind of literally working 24/7 to try and come up with good ideas. And the gods see us working hard and drop us an idea, and that's how the kind of inspiration falls upon us.
Listen, thank you very much indeed for your time. Just in closing, is there any message you'd like to give for fans of your games out there?
ゲームファンに、最初にお話ししたように。
So, as I mentioned before, this game is comprised of very new ideas, and again, it's an unprecedented type of game, and I'm sure there are users out there who won't understand what the game is all about by just having a glance. So, and I understand that you're worried about maybe investing in the game, but if there's even a slight sense of curiosity in you, I would really like to ask you to believe in that curiosity and just give it a try, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Such a shame. The entire Guest Jerk Armada is going to be on top of us.
It's not breaking up at all.
That's all, folks. Our ability to resist Guest Jerk is kaputski.
Luca!
This is all my fault. Luca! I didn't mean to do this.
Against the boy's own will?
We're not going anywhere without Luca!
It's up to us. Earth's future is in our